green morning, green afternoon, green evening. We extend a very warm welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the world. Let's travel to beautiful part of India, 8 beautiful states, northeast part of India, scintillating, captivating, very energetic and vibrant youth over there. Art, craft, culture, music, dances, everything is the integral part of our day-to-day life, day-to-day living. And Manipur has got a very rich culture and I think a very big heritage. And today we are going to talk about the film-induced tourism in our series. We are proceeding. And I learned with a pleasure from Mr. Sunzu, our distinguished guest today, who's the Secretary, Manipur State Film Development Society. And he's also national award winning filmmaker and a freelance journalist. It was a pleasure when I talked to him. I learned last time that Manipur is celebrating Golden Jubilee Manipur Cinema. Oh my God, let's see what is the way forward. 50 years celebrations, 50 years. That's remarkable when we talk about it. How much cinema they have dedicated, devoted, and how much time must have gone into the history. 50 years, I think it's remarkable. So hearty welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the world and very warm welcome and wonderful evening to Mr. Sunzu Bachaspatimayum. He's the secretary, as I told you, Manipur State Film Development Society. And let's proceed and let's go ahead in our journey today. On behalf of our chamber, ICSI, we extend a very warm welcome to all of you. And we have done already 27 years. We organize our international confluence every year in the second week of January when the non-resident Indians are in India. This year we had some coronavirus challenges. That's why all digital from the world over. 1994, we started this journey, but hats off to the then Honorable Prime Minister of India in 2003, when he understood what exactly is the potential, the Indian diaspora they carry, those who have gone abroad. Why not we should work out and get them on a common platform? And there was a birth in 2003 of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. We all have come a long way because 1991 economy had got opened up. Before that, 60s, the movies were shot in Srinagar and all that area. When we talk about 70, now in 70 early, Manipur also started, others also started, and slowly and gradually things started moving. Raj Kapoorji was the first person in 1964 when he made Sangam. He had gone, I think, world over, different continents and different countries, and he traveled across. Of course, the major portion was in Europe. And further, when we come on to 90s and when the economy got opened up, then people like late Yash Raj Chopra ji and Karan Johar and a couple of other producer directors, they started shooting abroad in different countries. Switzerland was put on the map, as we all know. Thereafter, Kaho Na Pyar Hai, New Zealand, and then you have got Krish, that is in Singapore. But when we have come a long way, 25th of March 2020, all roads closed, all transport stopped, everything comes to standstill, complete lockdown, nobody to move out. It was a big challenge. And during the COVID now, as the situation is improving, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India has put in right efforts that let's focus on domestic tourism. And that's what is the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister also. And also he has given an appeal to entire country. Let's travel at least 15 destinations within India till December 2022. And we are taking a journey to Dekho Apna Desh, and we are traveling to northeast part of India, 8 beautiful states of northeast. And that is all the way your Arunachal, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Sikkim. We already have done with the tourism and media entertainment people clubbed together. These are some of the films which have been shot in northeast part of India. That day, when we started this particular series, right, if you see particularly film tourism when we talk about. So 23rd August onward, we totally dedicated to Northeast, and we are going in this series. We are moving in this series. So 23rd August opening batsman Arunachal Pradesh and Mr. Shring Wonge. And with him, we moved on the journey along the other dignitary to whom you will meet tomorrow. That time we had tourism and media entertainment people together, but now we are focusing exclusively over here more on media entertainment, because when you talk about film induced tourism, we got to be taking on board more producer, directors, line producers, others, those are associated directly or indirectly with the filmmaking. Then we had gone to Meghalaya next day and E.B. Blas Sahab and all other dignitaries. Then we went to David Solo, that is in Nagaland. Then we went to Mr. Bora, Mr. Arijit, all the way in Assam. Then we had gone Mr. Paul and all other dignitaries all the way in Tripura. Then we had gone to Radhakrishnan great efforts. And today, of course, we are bringing you the perspective of the media entertainment we'll be talking about. And then we had gone to Madam Barial, and that was Mizoram along with other dignitaries. Then we had gone to Sikkim, Madam Lepcha, and all the dignitaries. So, ladies and gentlemen, is the unexplored paradise of Northeast. And welcome to International Chamber for Service Industry, ICSI. Our chairman, Manmohan Singh ji, the film writer, director, producer, cinematographer, who spent almost 20 long years with late Yashraj Chopra ji and all the films which he had done with him. Before that, he was with Raj Kapoor ji. Then he spent some time with Gulshan ji. And besides that, he brought a new tilt and a new change in the Punjabi regional cinema. Completely a new canvas was painted with the new colors. So we are proud of him. He's a great soul, very good friend of late Yash Chopra ji. And they had together done a couple of films abroad. They promoted Switzerland in a very big way. Dil To Pagal Hai, Chandni, Lame, Dil Wale Dulhania Le Jayenge, Mohabbatein. And cinematic tourism has got a tremendous potential. Our chamber had taken secretary tourism, all of them together to Mumbai, interaction with production houses. And over there, the decision being taken, what is the demand of the industry? They want a single window facility. They want to travel hassle-free. They want to do the shooting without any kind of obstacles. And Chandigarh became the first city, and Bollywood facilitation cell in 2006. We kept on moving. It took about another 9 years. And then Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, the Union Minister, with the initiative of Dr. Lalit K. Pawar, then the Secretary Tourism, Additional Secretary, Joint Secretary, all of them together. 8th of April 2015, we had a long full day deliberations at Hotel Samrat, all Secretary Tourism from the whole country together. And they got convinced cinematic tourism, film tourism, entertainment tourism, it has got a tremendous potential. Why not to promote it? And thereafter, we had gone to Mumbai, great interaction with all associations, production houses, everybody together. Now they told, if you want to promote Northeast part of India, you need accessibility. And thereafter amenities and attraction comes. So when you talk about accessibility, means more flights to be flying directly to Northeast. Now the Guwahati airport and Imphal airport considerably is getting larger chunk of the flights, and both the airports are getting expansion. So we had gone to Mumbai, and we took entire Northeast region and all the ASEAN countries together on a common platform. And we had a day-long deliberations, celebrations, Northeast India and ASEAN media entertainment industry. I'm grateful to Janu Barwaji and all other dignitaries. There were about 400 people. We all were together. And of course, Sushant Singh ji's wife, she's from Manipur. And Mohit Soni, we are proud of you because it's the Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council CEO. And I still recall 22nd, 23rd, before the COVID hit in 2020. In 2018, early, we had a very big function with the support of Asni Kumar ji. He was the main key person. And we got the Honorable Chief Minister, all other dignitaries. And this was the Hotel Classics. And Dr. Dabali, such a beautiful, place you have got to accommodate the coming people. You give the proper kind of a hospitality and all the facilities which are right over there. So it was a day-long deliberation, celebrations, and ambassador of Myanmar, he also joined us over there. And we all discussed quite a bit on too. And there was a roadmap being released by the Honorable Chief Minister. And of course, we had other functions as well. And as I was telling you, more flights to come over there. That was the agenda. And in that bargain, we had a couple of ministers and state governments of Northeast together. Then ASEAN Study Center being set up in ICCR complex over there, ICSSR. And this was basically to take up research projects and everything. And there was a very strong recommendation that it should be shifted to Myanmar University, this Manipur University, because when you are traveling from there to the ASEAN towards More and Myanmar, and then of course Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and other countries. So the gateway is right from there. Why not we should have ASEAN Study Center in Manipur University? Thereafter, there was Advantage Assam that also everybody enjoyed. And Mohit Soniji, you have brought lots of programs. These courses are free of cost, available for students under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Children can enjoy. And now beautiful city is coming up, Film City, where you can see the entire infrastructure development in such a beautiful, innovative, futuristic way. It's coming in 1,000 acre in Noida. It's going to be developed in 3 phases. And we also studied economic impacts of film tourism deeply. And these are the 3 phases. First phase to be completed in 2024, then 2027, then 2029. And recently on 5th of August 2021, J&K government also released their film tourism policy, and that is they're giving great doles and incentives to people. I think other state governments should also think about it, and they should plan about it. Revival of tourism is very important because this industry is bleeding. It has suffered badly. A lot of people are on roads, and I think it's a time we all need to revive the tourism as soon as possible and bring it back on the track, initially starting with the domestic tourism, and thereafter, of course, taking back to the new heights once again, where from we will develop and we will take it. All that has to be taken. Thereafter, we have also started golf tourism series. Every day at 4 p.m. in the evening, you can enjoy our golf tourism. So ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, let's get together. No competition, only collaboration. Media entertainment industry is incomplete without Northeast India artists. Children are wonderful, amazing. And Manipur, when you talk about the jewel of the incredible India, is something is amazing. Shanghai Festival, where I talk, I enjoyed for complete 1 week over there. We have got some recommendations, but we can talk about it. So sound, light, action, cinema, and tourism. And let's get on to film-induced tourism, Golden Jubilee, Manipur cinema, way forward. Let me show you a beautiful clip for 1 minute. And thereafter, we go straightway for our deliberations, discussions. Oh. I got to come back. And there we are. Here it is. (1972 to 2022). So the celebrations are going on. Rest of the things we'll show you later. Join me in extending a very hearty welcome to Mr. Sunzu. And It was a pleasure to have you last time also, but we could not devote the quality time because we had a large pool of speakers and we had to accommodate everybody. Today, I would request you, let's take on the entire journey and your soul, your spirit, your vision, your cerebrum, everything we should talk about with regard to the Manipur and particularly the film-induced tourism, because our focus is more and more production coming from here so that children can get jobs, they can get entrepreneurship, infrastructure can develop. With these words, Mr. Sunzu.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's perfectly fine.
And I think my video is stuck.
No, I can see you. Your video is going on.
I cannot see myself.
We can see you. We can see you. Don't worry. We can see you.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for having me and giving time to Manipur and films and talking about our Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema. So as you have seen in that signature film that we made, I began with a title called Matamgi Manipur. So that is our first officially released feature film that we have produced. And this film was released on 9th April 1972.
Wow.
So from counting from that period to now, so we are going to be turning 50 years, completing 50 years in April 9th, 2022. So that's why the Manipur State Film Development Society Executive Board has decided that we should have a one-year celebration leading to the culmination of the 50 years of Manipuri cinema. So like as it was decided, we've inaugurated the Golden Jubilee celebration in 9th April 2021, and we have had an 8-day inaugural event wherein we felicitate our pioneering filmmakers, film personalities, and we had a focus on Northeast way forward, where we've invited about 8 Northeast filmmakers to come over, be part of our festival, and have them talk about filmmaking and their challenges we face while making films in the region, the pros and cons of how to tell our stories in a more to a more larger audience, and to make storytelling possible in terms of finance and things. So we've had a series of a panel discussion called Cine Talks, as well as we've had screening of films, landmark films of Manipuri films, both feature films as well as non-features, and we've invited Northeast films to be shot and to be screened, and also we have had directors talking about those films, Q&A, and that kind of thing. Besides that, because we feel that preserving our heritage, because Manipur has made around 67 celluloid feature films, as well as 100 documentary non-feature films. And preservation of these celluloid films becomes important because that is our heritage and that is our pride. So we are in the middle of trying to conserve whatever is left of our celluloid heritage. And so during that Golden Jubilee celebration, we've inaugurated a film archive called SN Chan Cine Archive and Museum. We've inaugurated the vault room of the where we keep our celluloid films, as well as I think we were told that we became the first state to have a conservation room wherein we take care of our films, treat our films, and do our regular maintenance. So besides National Film Archive of India, we are the first state to have a conservation room. This is according to the Film Heritage Foundation, Mumbai, who are doing a very excellent work in film archiving and networking with all these foreign agencies. So that being said, so let me give you a brief about how film came about, what is the history, what is the journey of the 50 years. So Manipur, as you know, is a place of India that has witnessed the great Second World War. It is part of this uh, Second World War, and in fact, this war, the Battle of Imphal and Kohima, is supposed to be the Royal British Army Museum had kind of identified this Battle of Imphal Kohima as the most brutal war that the Royal British Army had fought. And the same war, according to the Japanese, the Imperial Japanese Army, they classified this Battle of Imphal as the most reckless war they have had fought. And in fact, this war determined the outcome of the Second World War. It led to the Japanese surrendering, retreating from Imphal for Manipur, and then finally surrendering, and the end of Second World War. So it played a decisive role in the outcome of the war, and because of that, because of the Second World War, that was in 1942, when the Japanese came to Burma, and after occupying Burma, after taking over Burma from the British, their next target was to enter India and take over, come to Delhi Chalo, and INA was there also with them. So, and Imphal was the Allied garrison. They had a garrison here, so it was a target. So Japanese started bombing, and then a lot of activities happened because of the war. Roads were developed, and then we have a lot of Allied soldiers coming in, and then to entertain them, we had a screening of cinema, as well as shooting of the war efforts to encourage war and do war propaganda. So people saw cinema as well as what the camera can do during the war. So I think the cinema culture started from there in 1940, 42. But before that, Manipur was taken over by British in 1891, since 1891. So the British and connection was there, and British started documenting, making anthropological films, making cultural films, and just documenting. So camera, the people of Manipur were familiar because from the British. In fact, one of our princes, and he became the first independent Manipur's first, you can say, prime minister, but the term we use is the chief minister. His name was M.K. Prioberta. So he bought an 8 mm camera, consulting a British officer and who was his good friend. So he's advised to buy an 8 mm camera, and he started filming, and he started documenting the culture, the way of life of the people and things. So that is when Manipuris started operating the camera and making cinema of that, So so cinema started in 1938, and like just making just documenting things. But the actual attempt to make a feature film started in 1948. A group of enterprising individuals, formed what's called Sri Sri Govindaji Pictures, and they wanted to make a feature film adapting a popular stage play called Mainu Pemcha. So this film was So when they started planning for this film, so it was decided that they should make this film in Hindi because of commercial interests. So and then making the film in Hindi will generate more audience for the film. So they made this film in Hindi, but unfortunately, this film Mainu Premja couldn't be completed. They shot about 8 to 9 reels in 35 black and white celluloid films, but this film wasn't released or wasn't complete because of financial problem. So the first attempt, Manipuri film attempt, was made in Hindi, but it was not successful. It was not complete. And then finally, the Matamgi Manipur happened. One gentleman by the name of Karam Manamohan. He was a enterprising businessman, and doing all sort of trades, timber trade, and contract works. So he had a lot of money, and it was at that time another gentleman, Manipuri gentleman. His name is Sapam Nodia Chan. He was working in radio, Akashbani, AR radio, as a Hindi announcer. But he was madly in love with cinema and film, cinema making, cinema practice. So he studied, and that time, that this was in 1970s, 69, 70s, like that. So that time we had a very vibrant film society culture. So they used to see a lot of these films which was got from National Film Archive, foreign films, master, classic films, and they used to see, and then that's how we started learning about cinema and how we can, make this cinema. Why not Manipuris make our own film? That kind of spirit was developed through the film society movement. So S.N. Chan was one of the Manipuris who wanted to make this film. So when he started to make this film called Brojendrogo Luhongba, he kind of looked for financiers, and one of the financiers was Karam Amumasa. He approached him to join in the project and finance his film. But Karam Amumasa decided that he will make his own, he will produce his own, not S.N. Chan's film. So these two gentlemen ended up making simultaneously each of the films. One is Brojendrogi Lohongba and one is Matamgi Manipur. So Karam Amcha, being rich, and he wanted to be in the history book, and he's a very flamboyant character and maverick kind of thing. So he wanted to be the first guy to produce Manipuri feature film. So finally, because of economic power that he had over S.N. Chan, who had some financial difficulty making his film. So Karam Amumcha ended up releasing his film before S.N. Chan, and that's how Matamgi Manipur was released before Brojendrogi Luhongba. And this Matamgi Manipur, which was the official first Manipuri film released in 1972, the director of the film is Mr. Dev Kumar Bose. He's a Bengali film director. So in that sense, there's another school of thought of people here saying that that Brojendrogo Luhongba, which is made by a Manipuri film director, should be the first, should be counted as the first film Manipuri, authentic Manipuri feature film, because it is made by a Manipuri director. Anyway, that's besides the point. The government has decided, and also the film community has decided that Matamgi Manipur, that we've counted the year, the start of Manipuri cinema from the release of Matamgi Manipur. So after successfully releasing Matamgi Manipur, we started making this social drama and commercial films, and every year we kind of we made at least one or two films on celluloid. But in 1982, a momentous leap happened in Manipuri cinema. This was when Mr. Aribam Sharma, who is considered a patriarch of Manipuri cinema, because he's the one who put Manipuri cinema on the international map, and Manipur came to be known in the outside world as a small state of India that makes good films. So when Mr. Aribam Sharma collaborated with K. Ibohol Sharma, who was also a pioneer of Manipuri cinema, he's the one who has been experimenting with camera and documenting, and also starting a local film institute and trying to train technicians and get train people up for filmmaking. So he collaborated with Mr. Aribam Sharma and made a film called Imagining. That's called Imagining My Dear Son, or the director and the producer translated their work as My Precious My Son. So the Matamgi Manipur was about this illicit child whose mother died, and then the actual his father's wife came to the village of the boy, and then he somehow he thinks that lady is his son. So he started clinging to her and calling her mom, and then the lady started inquiring who's this boy, and then she finds out that he is actually the illicit son of his husband. So that it's a very unique and very empowering story. And then it was that this story was taken up by Derek Malcolm, film critic of based in UK, and then this film became the first Indian film to win award in like Grand Prix award in Nantes Festival. So after that, after Imagining Tem, then Manipuri cinema again became very, very vibrant, and we started making films. And then at that time we also started, because this filmmaking was very expensive. Celluloid, making films on celluloid was very expensive. So and that because of the expense, not many could indulge in filmmaking. So after some time in 1990s or late 80s, the VHS, the video home system cameras and VCRs came out. So people, in Manipur, they say that Manipuris have an innate love or need for telling stories. And the telling stories is like breathing air. You have to breathe air to live. So it's like breathing. It's like breathing for Manipuris. So I guess that was true in a sense. So people started experimenting with this cheap home system videos to make films, to tell stories. So there was a very vibrant and very strong experimentation with storytelling with the video home system. And after a while, in 2000, unfortunate thing happened. Manipur, we've had a conflict situation where there are rival groups saying that we must protect our culture, and then Manipur should be independent and things like that. So they started banning the Bollywood cinema, saying that Bollywood, corrodes our culture, and then they banned the Hindi Bollywood cinema. So after the ban, then the local film industry kind of had to replace Bollywood cinema, and they stepped in, and initially 2-3 years they did good business, but Manipur cannot live in isolation. So because people were so much in love with Bollywood and the Hindi cinema, that people mm, kind of I would say people miss Bollywood cinema, and after banning of this Hindi film bans, the cinema halls started not doing well. Before, when Bollywood film was being screened in Manipur, there was a strong film going audience, and all shows used to be packed houseful, and even the night shows, which used to begin at 9:30, used to be packed, and it was a family event. We used to be decked up and go for this kind of thing. So people kind of started staying away from the theaters, and there was no audience for the to see the cinema in the theaters. So slowly cinemas closed down, and because again it is a global change scenario, that this 2010 onwards, throughout the world we have seen theaters starting up and turning into shopping malls, and like that. But sadly, Manipur could not shut down the theaters and come up with good multiplexes where you can see pictures on a smaller theater, but good projection, good sound system and things. So Manipur officially right now we have no theater cinema showing theater in Manipur, except one which is in our office. We have a theater which can screen digital cinema, and that we have that's called a palace or auditorium that is in our society's complex. So sadly, Manipur has no theater that you can see film. So that's how the journey has been. But it doesn't mean that people have stopped making films, because of the cost of making cinema has come down incredibly with the digital technology. So at one time, Manipur was the third largest film producing state in India. This is taking the figure from the census office, regional census office in Guwahati. So, and in Northeast, it was top film producing state, because one time the Manipur used to produce around 50 to 60 feature films in a year in digital format. But I think all that figure also came down to 30, and right now I think it's coming to around 20. But we've had some string of successes. I can name, but of late, Pawan Kumar's Loktak Laramid did very well in the festival circuit, as well as in terms of recovering his cost of making the film. It was produced by him and his wife, his company, and his mother also. And he recovered the investment, and he made profit, and he's making another film. So in terms of success, that kind of thing.
Sometime it was going on so well. He was giving the total perspective, but internet sometimes gives a difficulty. So we need better connectivity, better bandwidth, and we need a digital highway instead of a normal constructed highways. That is something very important which we all have to take on. So connectivity is again a very important challenge, very important issue. We got him back, and let's start further.
Just before I continue, Mr.
Yes,
Gulshan,
it's going on fine. It's going on
yeah,
fine.
I mean, am I making sense?
Yes, 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 yes. It's going on fine. It's going on fine. We are
Okay,
trying to get the total perspective over here. Total perspective.
yeah. So we've had strings of success. In fact, Manipur was a state who kind of forced the director of film festival, Government of India, Ministry of INB, to accept films for national awards on video format, digital video format. Because of our effort, I can probably say, take the credit in saying that because of Manipur, now the director of film festival, who are the people organizing this giving out distribution or competition for national film awards, to accept films on video format, feature films, and also non-feature films. So like that, we've had some landmark events, and that is it. And so this Golden Jubilee celebration. Let me talk about our Golden Jubilee celebration, and also our effort towards cashing in on film for its tourism potential. Because of the second wave, we did the inauguration of the Golden Jubilee celebration in April 9 to 18 April, and fortunately nothing happened that time. Everything was fine. People were coming in full attendance, but shortly after that, after maybe 1 or 2 weeks, the country went through a second wave, and dramatic measures were taken up. And since then, in Manipur, we have not had relaxation on people gathering, and even theaters are not open. But things are improving, and shopping malls and restaurants are being open. So hopefully they will open up the theaters, and people can gather and enjoy shows. In fact, we are waiting for that, because so we want to resume our celebration about of cinema, and talking about cinema and discussing about cinema. So our Golden Jubilee celebration had a very detailed plan of not only having the celebration in Manipur, but taking the message and taking Manipuri cinema to the major metropolitan cities of India, like Delhi, Chennai, Bangalore, Guwahati, Kolkata, Mumbai, Pune, and Kerala, and talking about them, screening of films, and sensitizing that yes, Manipur has what is Manipuri cinema. So, and also we also plan to have sensitizing program for school levels and college level. What is cinema? How they can, how they can make cinema practice as part of their career, and also in terms of promoting Manipur, and in terms of promoting oneself, use these tools and trade. And also, what is cinema in terms from the perspective of a human history. And in fact, like I said before, in November, December, we plan international competitive festival, but I think we may not be able to do it this time, because situation is not right. So there's active deliberation on doing hybrid model and also online. So that is how it stands. In terms of making Manipur a film-friendly destination, that is an area that I want to focus, because we know that if film is such a practice that it generates a lot of not only revenue but also promotes the place where it is practiced, where it is shot. And Manipur, in fact, Bollywood has picked up at least I can say one story, Mary Com's story, which is origin from Manipur. But besides Mary Com's story, I think another film that the Bollywood has picked up is Dinko Singh. Dinko Singh is another boxer who was a boxer who inspired Mary Com to take up boxing, and and recently he passed away. But when I kind of was trying to write an article on him, I found out that he's a legend. He's considered a legend, legendary Indian boxer who kind of popularized boxing, the way he boxed, and the spirit that he had. So it kind of popularized boxing in India. So I think Bollywood has picked up his story, and then Sahil Kapoor is going to act as Dinko Singh, and I think that's the plan. So obviously the crew's first choice would be to make the film in Manipur. So the thing is, if the government, or if the government Manipur, or if we are not receptive, or if we do not reach out to them, that yes, come to Manipur, we'll felicitate your shooting, and you must shoot in Manipur, and network with them and make it happen, then probably they will settle for shooting it in some studio, Mumbai studio in Film City, or go to Himachal Pradesh, how Marikom's film happened. And besides Dinko Singh, again, there's this Second World War took place in Manipur. There's a lot of potential for making war films. And also another film that happened was that Surgical Strike. I think there was a film, Bollywood film, that called Surgical Strike.
Yes.
And that film had an episode of action in Manipur, but it was not shot here. So yeah, so we missed the bus quite several times. So I'm thinking that we should do something to make Manipur, to popularize Manipur as a place you can come and shoot authentically, and also besides the stories based in Manipur, you can come for any other films where you need nature, where you need vibrant communities, or you need a border, cross-border, action happening Burma and then India, and sports, or like we can, and then we have so much natural beauty like waterfalls, green blue hills, and then sloping hills and dells, and so on. So I think we have not promoted Manipur as a film destination. So that is a priority that I have in mind, that at least my contribution to our Manipur, to popularize Manipur, or to get revenues and to promote Manipur in the national and international arena, is to make it friendly for film shooting. I think I can take a break, and we can
Lovely, lovely. No, I would say, if you give your final whatsoever you want to tell youth, you want to tell teachers, you want to tell community, whatsoever you want to convey, Thereafter, I would convey my gratitude and thanks to you, and I'll run the film and then I'll close it.
Okay.
That is the way I plan to work it out.
Okay. My conclusion is
Yeah.
the future is very bright. Only thing is um, we need finances. Manipur government has has notified through gazette notification our state cine policy, but the financial component is not included in the policy. That's why we have a problem in implementation. Fortunately, our honorable Chief Minister has said in the floor of the assembly that that attention will be given to films, and a concrete approach to how to take it forward to the next level will be devised and will be strategized.
Okay.
So towards that, the Cine Commission, Manipur State Cine Commission has been instituted, and this is a body wherein it is a monitoring body of the implementation and of the Cine policy. So hopefully, after the commission has prioritized, identified the areas, as well as push the government to give the finances required for effective implementation of the policies, then we will have something good coming up. And in terms of human resources and technical hands, I think we have seen a lot of young people talking to films, and we already have a vibrant film industry. We have about 10,000 people engaged in filmmaking, and
10,000
people engaged in filmmaking.
Okay.
But unfortunately, because of the low market and the approach to filmmaking, the standard of the equipment being used by the local filmmaking community is not up to the international mark, the standard filmmaking approach. So we need to kind of support the local filmmaking community in terms of providing standard equipment, encourage them to, and then also kind of provide workshops and labs to enhance their skills and empower them, and provide state-of-art equipment. And because if you have these equipments, these standard equipments like camera, lights, and other film equipments, then Manipur becomes more attractive for national or international crew to come and shoot, because they don't have to bring the cameras there, because it is all here. They can use and they won't have to spend money bringing the equipment from Bombay to Manipur and shoot. So it is much
infrastructure.
And more finance, more finance to build up the infrastructure, right? So I would suggest all well-wishers of Manipur and also of the film industry to kind of lobby and also support in building infrastructure and pouring in finance, so we can make Manipur a film-friendly destination.
Wonderful. What a beautiful inputs, valuable inputs. And the journey you took right from 1972. Of course, you had gone back to 1891 also, when the British took over Manipur, and then 8mm camera and going around that gentleman, and cinema started in 1938 and actual feature film 1948. And then, of course, you mentioned about 1972, Matnagi, that is Dev Kumar Bose And thereafter, then you told a little bit efforts on to that somebody local from there producing. Great. And 18th of April, you told 2021, you started the event?
9 April. 9 April.
9th April. 9th April. Okay. 9th April, you started.
18 April. 9 April. 9 April to 18 April.
Okay. 9 to 28. Okay. To 18th April. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now thereafter, you told about film-friendly destination. Then you talked about a couple of other things coming up, natural beauty, sports, and Manipur. Achha, Manipur has the film tourism policy, but the only thing is implementation process has to take place. Okay. And approximately 10,000 youth are engaged at this point of time. And more skill centers, more training providers, more training establishments can come up. The training provider also train the trainers, master trainers, everything getting developed from Manipur. And at the same time, like children have got a natural talent, inbuilt by the DNA. So all that has to be utilized in a very proper way, something very nice. Great, great, Sunzuji. It was a pleasure to have you today with us. And if I correctly remember, initially you mentioned that Manipur has produced approximately 67 celluloid films and approximately 100 documentaries. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, great, great. And there's a Film Heritage Foundation.
Oh no, that is a Mumbai-based.
Yeah.
Which is our partner.
Okay, they are your partner.
Yeah, ours is called Tenchan Cine Archive and Museum.
Okay. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had a wonderful interaction with the National Award winning filmmaker and the freelance journalist from Manipur. And it was my wish, and I would request you, Sunzuji, from Northeast to get me more and more people. Those are already into whether documentary films or commercial films or regional films, or if they are producing music albums, or if they are potential, those are looking forward to an opportunity to be a part of this industry. I think the entire ecosystem of this region has to be developed that way. And you have been very kind to give me a film. I'm going to show that right now. And I convey my deep gratitudes and thanks to you. Do you want to say anything? I think, do you wish to say anything?
No, thank you so much for focusing Manipur and also helping in promoting Manipur and also generate interest. Thank you so much. I hope it should not be the last.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just a humble beginning by all of us together. And ladies and gentlemen, while conveying our deep gratitudes and thanks to Mr. Sunzu, the Secretary for Manipur State Film Development Society, and wonderful evening. Tomorrow, we are going to take you to another case study, another state in Northeast. And day after tomorrow is going to be very interesting for all of you. Piece by piece, bit by bit, we will talk with you the entire Koila movie, which was shot in Northeast, and Shah Rukh Khan celebrated his happy birthday on 2nd November, also in Northeast part of India. And Gauri Khan, ma'am, she came all the way from Mumbai to that state in Northeast. And thereafter, they had wonderful celebrations. So, lot to come, lot to discuss. And 15th of this month, we are planning to have the production houses from Bollywood, Tollywood, and regional cinema, everybody together on a common platform, full day conference. We are planning on 15th. So I'm just giving you the teaser. I'm giving you the advance information, and we are working on to it very diligently. And I think by day after tomorrow, we will be in a position to give you the complete picture how we are proceeding on that. So while conveying thanks to Mr. Sunzu and while conveying our best wishes to everybody in Manipur, let me share the second, the picture which I just wish to share with all of you. Let me just, because this is here. This is the one I've shown you. And this is what I wish to show you. It's a documentary, and thereafter you consider automatically we'll be closing. And now you enjoy beautiful Manipur, the complete journey, right? 1972 onwards. Thank you, Sunzuji.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
In 1991, Ishano, a Manipuri feature film directed by legendary filmmaker Aribam Syam Sharma, was screened in the Un Certain Regard section of the Cannes Film Festival. It is one of the highest honors ever shown to a Manipuri film. Manipuri cinema, considering that the first feature film, Matamgi Manipur, was released in 1972, has traveled a long journey of half a century. However, way back in 1936, Maharaj Kumar Priyabarta sowed the seeds of filmmaking in Manipur when he started shooting short documentaries with his 8mm Bell and Howell movie camera.
Maruina cinema series da koin ubu phangisi blend white ni aduga konung manungi pot aduga koi imasi akoina yamna nusina sonjari be imasi binodeni mak yamna angang pi macha moina maduda koigi koichat satpa adagi sagon nga tonga satpa jungle da moi satpa.
In 1946, an unsuccessful attempt was made by the Sri Sri Govindaji Film Company to make a Manipuri film, Mainu Pemcha. 9 reels of the film were screened at Imphal Talkies. The tempo died down to a low ebb for many years before a fresh enthusiasm was born. The passion and commitment of Karang Monomohan in producing films bore fruit with the making of a documentary, My Paksan of Manipur, and then a feature film, Matamgi Manipur, directed by Devkumar Bose from Kolkata. The first public screening of Matamgi Manipur was held on 9th April 1972, setting the official birth of Manipuri cinema. The day is now celebrated as Mami Numit. S.N. Chand is credited as the first Manipuri to direct a feature film, Brozendragi Luhungba, completed in the same year as Matamgi Manipur. A dedicated cine enthusiast, Chand later directed another feature film, Ngak Iku Nangse, in 1974. K. Ibohal Sharma was a true lover of cinema and played a pivotal role in pushing forward the film movement in Manipur. He devised indigenous ways of making films and even developed his own processing lab. He shot, developed, edited, and directed numerous documentaries and shorts in the 1960s. A few films were even made in color. Ibohal Sharma later teamed up with Aribam Siam Sharma and produced and shot the iconic Manipuri film Imagi Ningthem.
Lao. Lao, Chango. Nakoy mani. Chango.
Aribam Siam Sharma is the pioneer who has established Manipuri cinema at the national and global platforms. Made in 1981, Imagi Ningthem, My Son, My Precious, won the Grand Prix at Nantes.
C'est bien la supériorité d'ensemble de toute une production qui, hier soir, a été saluée à travers le lauréat Aribam Sharma. Aribam Sharma est professeur de philosophie, chanteur, compositeur et l'un des rares réalisateurs de l'État du Manipur.
Both Imagi Ningthem and Ishano were screened at major international film festivals, apart from winning multiple national awards. Today, Manipuri cinema misses the scripting talent of the renowned literary personality Maharaj Kumari Binodini Devi. Her work with Aribam Siam Sharma bestowed some of the greatest films in the repository of Manipuri cinema: Olang Thagi Wang Madasu, Imagi Ningthem, Ishano, Sanabi, and Sangai, the Dancing Deer. M.A. Singh, the first Manipuri filmmaker coming out of Film and Television Institute of India, Pune, is another leading figure of the celluloid era. His film, Sanakai Thel, made in 1983, stood out at the 31st National Film Festival. He is also credited for making the first Manipuri feature film in color, Langlin Tadoi, in 1984. Pioneering filmmakers of the celluloid era contributed immensely in shaping the future of Manipuri cinema with their ingenuity in storytelling and projections of the Manipuri society through films. Today, we revere the dedication of G. Narayan Sharma, Laimayum Banka Sharma, Murangthim Nilamani, and Laimayum Surjakanta Sharma, among others. Filmmaking suffered extensively in Manipur following a ban on screening of Hindi films in the cinema halls of the state by a prescribed group in 2000. Most of the theatres were forced to shut down, and many people in the industry lost their jobs. Consequently, this led to the popularity of low-budget filmmaking in video format. It was the time when digital technology was coming up in a big way. The so-called digital film movement in Manipur started in 2002 with the film Lamai, directed by O. Kenamakcham and O. Gautam. It was theatrically released and became commercially successful. Suddenly, there was a boom of digital films. At one point of time, Manipur was producing nearly 300 feature films in digital format. Mummy Sami, directed by Ningthoja Lancha, charmed the critics and audience alike to the possibilities of digital format as a sustainable medium for a small state like Manipur.
See who is here?
Phizigi Mani, directed by O. Gautam, heralded a new chapter in Manipuri cinema winning 2 national awards including Best Supporting Actress for Tontoy. A major movement of documentary filmmaking came up parallel to the narrative cinema. AFSPA 1958, directed by Haubam Paban Kumar and produced by Sunzu Bachaspatimayum, became the first Manipuri film to win the Swarna Kamal at the 56th National Film Awards. It was soon followed by a bunch of talented filmmakers who reflected on the socio-political situation of the state. Ronel Haubam, Alexander Leopao, Oinam Doren, Romi Mitay, Subhash E, Meena Longjam, Borun Tokchom, Sonia Nipram, Maibam Amarjit, and others.
Ba marak sida ai thanda thawani ko na khalubada ikai jaba amju phaw.
Writings on cinema from the state have also received national recognition. R.K. Bidur, Megachandra Kongbam, and Bobby Wahengbam have been awarded the Swarna Kamal for their literature on cinema. Among the young and upcoming filmmakers, Haubam Paban Kumar is shouldering a huge responsibility representing Manipur in many prestigious film events across the globe. In 2016, his debut feature, Luktak Lairimbi, set a benchmark when it was screened at the 67th Berlin International Film Festival. There is no dearth of talented and passionate filmmakers in Manipur, but only a few films make a mark in the national and global circuit. This is largely due to a lack of exposure among the filmmakers to the new age technologies, as well as marketing and fundraising strategies that can take the films beyond the borders of Manipur.
God bless all. Sentok la midi pibida na kaya am kunya ko bukang ko ay kallo ne ya ko kallo am te yingo ne kallo ne.
Looking at the future and to take Manipuri cinema to the next level, the society has recently come up with a scheme and has placed a proposal to the government that will nurture and mentor and skill our storytellers so that we can tell our stories in a global platform.
Cinema is regarded as one of the most important of all the art forms that expresses human culture, having the ability to progress our thoughts, knowledge, and worldviews. The journey of Manipuri cinema is turning 50 years, and this milestone is being celebrated with a vision for its growth. I congratulate the film community of the state and wish the celebration a grand success.